To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is Reverend Shawn Whittington's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Reverend Shawn, the Rev. Welcome to my haunted house, my very haunted house. Been quiet today, but the episode I have lined up today and the three special hosts that I have lined up, it might get active, but I'll experience that off camera anyway later. And we will get to all of them here in just a moment. Let's first get to the prayer urn. Bert Y from New York. Hi, Bert. Rev, someone close to me is oppressed. I'm trying to help. Would you ask an archangel to assist me? God bless you, Bert. I most certainly will. And you know what? It's interesting that I get that pulled that question today because this week has been very busy on the spiritual warfare front. And I have reached out to some archangels many times this week for help. And I know just a prayer for you. And I'm going to offer it up for everybody. But it's a beautiful 3-part prayer here to 3 of my favorite archangels who have helped me a lot. And I'm going to offer up this prayer for all of us, my paranormal ministry family, everybody within the sound of my voice, and Bert and his issue. And if you want to receive any love and light and positive vibe from this prayer, just while I'm reciting it, just reach out, touch your computer screen, close your eyes, and bow your head. Let's begin. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Saint Michael, glorious Prince of Heaven, protector of souls, I call on you to free me from all adversity and all sin, and to make me useful in God's service, obtaining from him the grace of final perseverance. Amen. Saint Gabriel, glorious Archangel, God's stronghold and voice, I call on you to obtain for me the grace of being preserved from evil, victory over the devil, and dominion of my bad inclinations until the end of my life. Amen. Saint Raphael, glorious Archangel, God's remedy, I call on you to heal all my body and soul's infirmities and help me flee from the sins that do such harm. Deliver back to us the gift of recovery and conversion. Amen. And you know what I'm going to also do? You didn't ask for this, Bert, but I am going to light a candle for each and every one of us, and I'm going to make it a big one. May all the archangels and the Holy Spirit enter and intervene in the lives of each and every person that can see me and within the sound of my voice. May you all be blessed. Amen. This candle will burn with us, brothers and sisters, until the end of the show. Then I will take it into the room where all the other candles are burning, and it'll burn until it's done burning. Paranormal Ministry mailbag. Boom. Oh, is it empty? Nope, I think I got one in there. Oh, there's one. Okay. Tanya P. from Kansas. Hi, Rev. I'm Catholic. Been having those kind of issues in my home as of late. How do you bless your home? Great question. Great question, Tanya. Okay, I'll make it simple and make it quick. You can see behind me all over the place a variety of wall crucifixes. Get yourself a nice wall crucifix if you don't already have one. Get it blessed, get it up in your home ASAP, on a wall in the most center part of your house if possible. Get yourself some holy water. Sprinkle that in every room in the sign of the cross. Get yourself some holy oil. Put it on your thumb, press it on your wall, and make a cross out of the oil on a wall in every room of the house. Get some blessed salts. Sprinkle the blessed salts on the inside windowsills, in every room, on every window, and on the floor at every door that leads outside. I would walk through the house and say prayers. If you're not familiar with them, get yourself a little Catholic prayer book. But my faves are the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Prayer to Saint Michael, short version in English, as you go through the house and bless it. Um, if you can get your hands on some dragon's blood sage, white sage dipped in dragon's blood, smudge your house with that. Smudge your house with some blessed frankincense and myrrh incense. I mean, smoke your house out to the point where you may even activate your smoke alarms. And then, like I said, be saying those prayers out loud as you walk through your home. I would continue to say those prayers every morning out loud when I wake up and every night before I go to bed. Of course, there's lots of more things you can do, but that's uh, that's about as direct and taking care of stuff as you can right now. And if you want to reach out to me later and give me, I can add some more stuff to that. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Okay, listen, guys, I'm about to cut out of here. We have today's very special episode is called Return of Mod Squad. And my three guests are world class ranters. I did ask them to, watch their language and not get too crazy. But I'm going to let them have the show. I only do this show every 2 or 3 months, but they're going to take over, and I will be back next week to be with each and every one of you. But these you're going to love these three guests, and I think they're going to even allow you guys to jump in and get your rant on. If you have anything you want to rant on in the chat room and throw a topic out for them, we can do that too. The hour may not be long enough, but enjoy the show, guys, and I'll see you later. Welcome to another episode of Return of Mod Squad. I'm Reverend Pillsbury. Okay, the Rev is gone. I'm not crazy about the Rev. I think he's a little weird. I don't know how you guys feel, but he's got me taking over today. My two very good friends. We've got Coast Cougar P.I.
How much have you been drinking today?
Well, today, I to be honest, I watched morning mass on EWTN, and so I drink some of Christ's blood, you know, and that used to be a very strong wine that I got shipped to me that was turned into his blood from Israel. So there might still be some fermentation going on in Christ's blood when I drink it, and so I may have a little bit too much of that this morning. But my other good friend with us today is Sly and the family York. So we're here to rant today, guys. But like the Rev made me promise, we would, try not to drop any f bombs, call anybody out in particular, get too crazy. He made us all promise we were gonna come dressed today, and we weren't gonna consider this a clothing optional episode. So I see we're all dressed. We all look good. I love you both. It's been a while. I know we only get together and do this every 2 or 3 months. Sly, you're sitting in for Maverick, not James Garner's son, who hopefully will be back for the next episode. He had a lot of personal family things going on, and he couldn't make it today. So God bless you for sitting in for him. And if you do a bang up job today, we might even get rid of Maverick. So we'll see. Anyway, Ghost Cougar, you're so pretty. Um, Sly, not so much. You kind of sort of look like Johnny Depp's body double from the Caribbean movies. Um,
That's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. I should have dressed as his ex-wife, and we could have done reenactment of the trial going on today.
There we go.
And I know that I'm not soft on the eyes at all, so I apologize to everybody. But this is a show where we're going to get our rant on things that I know that are on our minds, usually paranormal related, um, and things that need to be said that we want to get off our chest. And anybody that's watching the show, if you want to throw a topic out too or rant about something in the chat room, feel free. Ghost Cougar P.I. I thought I would throw the floor to you first.
That could be a dangerous thing. Okay, so I have to, gather myself here because the rules are kind of strict. Okay, so I have two things actually.
That's
Let's
fine. And you can talk as long as you want to.
let's talk about people in the paranormal field who want to, I don't know whether they know what they're doing, whether they're just putting it out there, whatever the heck they're doing, trying to poison other people, trying to curse them, whatever it is they do. Just a little heads up here. If you want to do that to people, it's coming back. And it's not going to come back just, oh, by the way, you're going to get in trouble and, fate's going to get you. No, it's coming back. I promise you. And we won't have to do a thing, but it will come back.
Yes.
We have to just arrange here.
Yeah, we did have a
I
little.
had nothing to do with
know,
that.
I didn't expect that. Cool. I thought we had canceled the episode and we were going to get into rave mode. So we have the Electric Daisy Carnival here in Vegas this weekend. So
Oh, wow.
I was who knows what might happen. Music may come back. We may shift around. We may all just finish the show dancing. I don't know. But I agree with you 100%. And what do I want to say on that? Yes, I agree with you 100%. There has all. I'm just going to throw it out there. And I've been, I'm turning 63 this year, and I have been seeing spirits since I was a little boy. Worked my first case sort of at my sister's haunted home when I spent the night there. I was 10. They were in college. So that really got me on the path of kind of ghost busting then. So I've got many years under my belt doing that. But there has always been, still is, and will always be major drama in the paranormal community. So I just got to a point where I just do my best to try my best, no matter how much it gets thrown on me, to avoid the drama at all costs because I don't have time for it. And it's not my style. So, but I have noticed a lot of people out there, if you're unhappy and you're miserable because for whatever reason you can't seem to keep your team together, nobody likes you, and you can't, nobody wants to buy your book, and no networks have reached out to you to put you on a TV show, and you're just angry, or you were on a show and it got canceled and you haven't gotten over it yet. Um, you know, it is wrong, and you will answer for it, and it will come back for you. It's like I tell many of my witchy friends, and I've got a lot of friends who are witches. They all practice their whatever it is they do, and I don't judge anybody. They practice whatever it is they do with love and light, but just like some priests, just like some witches, just like a lot of people in our field, they pervert what they do and they do bad with it. And it will come back. And all these people that attack everybody behind their back or in front of their face or spread bad rumors or just try to, if things aren't going good for them, they don't want anything going good for everybody. There's an old saying, a rising tide lifts all the ships. But they don't look at it that way. They want to sink all the ships, so they're the only lifeboat out there and everybody has to come to them and latch on to survive. But they don't really want that either. They want to be the only one on the boat. Um, so it is sad, and it's too bad that there seems to be, especially now, seems to be a lot of people in the paranormal field behaving that way. Um, so, yes, that's my 2 cents on your topic. How do you feel about that, Sly?
You ready for this?
I don't know. Are we, Johnny? Sly?
Okay, well, first of all, when it comes to the people in the paranormal field, um, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great people in the field. On the same token, there's a lot of whiners in the field too. Um, and I actually used this exact phrase the other day with somebody that I get on the Facebook and all I see is wham wham this, wham wham that. I hardly ever see anything positive anymore, and that's something I've always preferred is positivity when it comes to the paranormal field because that's really what we need. Otherwise, everything is just going to implode, and we have actually seen that tenfold on certain people. Um, Adrian and myself had distanced ourselves away from a different organization a little while back. We saw the backlash that happened from that. And then we recently had a situation where we had to remove somebody from our network. And the backlash really came back on that to the point where two of our teammates were bullied out of the field. And that that really made me angry. Um, with that, I just don't understand. If there's something that you don't like, move on. Don't pay it any attention. But let's say Adrian's doing something I don't like it. Well, being that we're on the same team, we'll probably have a conversation about that, and I'm sure vice versa. But I'm not going to get on Facebook and say, "Oh, Adrian is doing this, Adrian is doing that, blah blah blah." Because one, that's not right. It's a personal thing with me and her. It'll be handled behind the scenes. There is no reason to bring anything out in the open, which a lot of people seem to enjoy doing because they want that attention.
But it looks bad on them. It doesn't look bad on the people they're talking about.
Right? Exactly.
You know, the rule of thought there. Excuse me for just for a moment. Let me interject, and it's back to you, Slade. A lot of these people, what they do go by, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So they will do. You're right, Sly. Whatever it takes to draw attention to them, good, bad, or indifferent, or however things turn out for them. They don't see that. They've got tunnel vision on, and they're on the attack because they're just really unhappy. And Ghost Cougar, you've spoken to Adrian, and she's mentioned about having, and me too, and the Rev. We know people that we suspect are, have went to the wrong place, been at the wrong place at the wrong time, said or did the wrong thing, didn't respect the location, didn't respect the spirits, did their fair share of over provoking, ended up with an attachment. Sometimes these attachments were not just a pissed off ghost, but something worse. And now they're, you know, uh, suffering infestation at their home, oppression on their own psyche and their own body, and they have changed right in front of my very eyes. And it- you hope they're going to get some help, but uh, I don't know. And so we're seeing a lot of that too. And I've watched some of the people and their shows on some of the networks, and they've changed in just the short couple of years that they've been on. Things have happened, and some people, some have not, but some have really changed, and they don't even seem like the person that I once knew anymore. And I can tell there's something going on there. But it's like an intervention. In the paranormal field, there's no such thing as having an intervention. It doesn't go well because it's all spiritual, and you gotta wait for the right time or wait for them to reach out to you. But yeah, they don't care. They don't see it as being even bad publicity or it's not going to work out for me. It's a constant deflection. They're constantly in deflect mode, and they're throwing enough of you know what out there to see what will stick on who it'll stick on, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, it is. And to kind of go along with what you were talking about how people act in certain locations, there, there's one individual, I won't mention names, who tends to go over the top in what he does. And when he first came to me with this idea, at first I thought it was a really good idea because it's basically sensory deprivation, if I said that right.
Mhm.
And I thought it was a good idea. But at a point, it ended up becoming, it went from a good idea to being a gimmick. And now it's like nothing ever happens. And he's always wondering about that. And one is not really that nice of a guy anyway. And he's always wondering about it. And basically, what he did, he got himself to a point where he's basically being ghost blocked, where the entities just don't want anything to do with what he's doing.
Very
And I'm
interesting.
Yeah, and I'm noticed that with some other people, they go out there and they end up being, you know, an ass, and they can't seem to get any activity, and they're wondering why. Well, you just got ghost blocked.
Well, what I've also noticed is that, and they don't even see it, but I've noticed slowly but surely they alienate themselves from everyone around
Yeah.
them. And they end up one day waking up and wondering why, I don't have a team. I don't have any really close friends anymore. No one's watching my show. No one's returning my calls. You know, I'm just a miserable, miserable person. Why? Yeah. So I guess ultimately, I guess the three of us could agree on me personally, and I think the Rev is the same way. Um, we not everybody's going to love you, not everybody's going to like you, but you've got to be able to look in the mirror and love and like yourself. And how I go about making sure that I do that I don't mind what I see when I look in the mirror is I try to pay everything forward as little as it can be. Like people that long before the Rev started a radio show which he's no longer on. He's now exclusively got this show and he's going to expand on this show. But long before that, when he would make radio appearances, and people did him favors in the paranormal field. He never forgot that, and so when he did got his shows, he tried to get those people on as guests and pick them up and promote them, whether they needed it or not. He wanted to pay it forward, and I've always been like that, and I'll always try to continue to be that way because I enjoy seeing people happy, and that's um, I'm only human. Yes, there's times where I wake up and I just want to go back to sleep and sleep off the rest of the day. I'm constantly under attack. So I've got to be very careful. I've got to be in prayer all the time that I don't allow some of the dark thoughts that get injected into my psyche a lot come out of my mouth because words can kill and they can give life. And so I've just got to be very careful. But what how I combat that is just by trying to do as much as I can for other people, whether they appreciate it or not. I get off on it. So, uh, you know, the Lord is constantly letting me know, patting me on the back and going, "Good job." They may not have appreciated it right now, Pillsbury, but they will one day. But I noticed you did a good thing there, Keep up the good work, and that's all I need. And people in my inner circle see the good things. So you got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing it. Like I said, it can be very very hard, and sometimes it's a snowball effect. You start being that kind of person, and you wake up one day, and it may be a week, it may be a month, it may be a year, it may be 5 years, but you wake up one day and you realize you are just a miserable sob, and you've got nobody. You don't have an inner circle anymore, and people don't support you, and they don't like you, and they don't want to be around you. And I hope that never happens to me, from my mouth to God's ears. But I constantly try to do for others, and it's just a really it's spiritually a healing thing to just do for others, do for others, and that comes back on you good too. Like when you just keep throwing out enough of reaching back, scooping it out of your what, and throwing it at like a monkey, throwing your what onto people and seeing what will stick on people, that comes back on you. But when you can be complete, keep trying to pay it forward and doing good for others, and picking people up and paying it forward and bringing people along with you, that comes back to you in a good way too. There's rewards with that. So that was a great topic, Cougar. Do you and you don't have to just stick with one topic. If there's something else on your mind you want to talk about, or Sly, if you've got more you want to add to that topic, the show is yours, guys.
This one thing I would like to touch on. If you can bring up Dawn's last comment that she just made.
The last one.
But no, Dawn's the
Oh,
next one up.
let's try that one.
Yeah, that one right there. That
Absolutely.
right there shows you the power of certain people out there and their ability to be master manipulators. And we see that in the field a lot. And I'm going to be honest, I too have been manipulated by certain people. Adrian, I know you have. Um, and there's there's a whole lot of manipulation that is going on out there. And the things that these people are being told is in a way where it's very real, very believable, but it is very contradictory to what actually happened. Um, and it's in the power of those people to find out what really happened, go and get the other side. And one big problem that's in this field is that a lot of people choose not to do that. They just only listen to the one side and side with them without getting the other person's side.
I don't
And
know her
there's a lot of
personally, but that comment from Don, I'm going to say a prayer for you. We've known each other for a while on this platform. We've never met personally, but you seem like such a sweetheart. Trust me, it's happened to everybody, and that hurts the most when people that you had led into your inner circle, inner spiritual circle, turn their backs on you, and you realize they have been manipulating you, and they feel that there's nothing more that they can get from you that helps them. They cast you loose, and that hurts the most. You just gotta it is what it is. You just gotta move on. And I've been a victim of that many times too. I've got an old saying. The Rev's going to kill me for saying this. I've got an old saying. The only time manipulation is good is if you're in the adult film industry.
Yep.
But I'm pumped. Thank you very much. I'll be here to the end of this show, then Rev takes over. But so so that's I want so if whoever's running this show, I've never met the Rev's co-producers, Adrian or Zach. He loves them to death. I'm not crazy about the two of them. I could take them or leave them. But whoever's in charge of this show today, if they could pull up that other comment right before they pulled up Dawn's, it was from a gentleman. He had a great comment too.
That would be Wayne.
No, it was the one oh it is Wayne. Let's see here. No, but there was another one from Wayne. I see the paranormal thing, the thing that kills. No, one more. Go. That's a good one, but there's another one. I agree, Don and Jeremy. Maybe it wasn't that one. I could be. Maybe I'm having a stroke. A stroke here. I glanced, and it might have been
Like
from
this
Wayne.
one.
Ghost put. Hold on. It might have been from. Yeah, Wayne had a couple of good ones there. Thank you for the comments, Wayne. The ego's a big thing. Um, I thought I had read something else. I'm an old dog and still have. Thanks for the comment, Greg. Um, yeah, so I guess we will leave this topic with this. We're never going to, in our lifetime, I don't think, see under the whole paranormal umbrella the drama go. The reason why they call it the paranormal umbrella is because it's there's always a storm, and we're under that umbrella. Um, it is what it is. But baby
Mhm.
steps, people like us, people watching the show, work on yourself first. If you just make sure you try, you're gonna get people that are gonna hurt you. That's in everything in life. But you just stay passionate about what it is you're passionate about. Continue to work hard. Continue to help others. Pay it forward. Lift people up that are close to you when they're down, and don't hesitate to reach out to people that are close to you when you're down for them to pick you up. And that's how you find out who your real family and friends are when you're down and you reach out for help and there's nobody there. Then you can go ahead and you can cross those people off the list. Don't wish them bad. Don't put a spell on them. Don't wish them bad. Don't talk about bad about them behind your back. But you move on from them. Okay. I'm almost hesitant to do this, but I'm going to throw the next topic to Sly and the family York, and ask Sly if there was anything else um, personal that he wants to throw out there. Wayne
Well,
says, "I cut the grass that little short. It makes it easier to spot." Yeah.
makes it easier to spot. To go along with that comment is that when you look at the grass on the other side of the fence and see that the grass is greener, there's a reason why that grass is greener. So,
Well, out here it's because we're in the desert and we're under water restrictions, and I can only water 3 days a week. Yeah, like that's going to help out in the desert. So my front lawn looks like a dirt lot, and my neighbors probably wonder why I still get the guy out here once a month to mow and to edge and to blow the driveway down, because at least I'm making an
well
effort.
done.
But that's why my grass isn't greener on this side of the fence. But I'd be interested, Sly, on your take on as to why the grass looks greener on the other side.
I'm just going to say it in a very nice way. Um, Lots and lots of fertilizer. That's really all I'm going to say about that.
It's
Uh,
funny you bring up fertilizer. We must all be a little, and this is totally off topic, forgive me, but I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of the cat that I had, the outdoor cat that I had here for 10 years. I think everybody will love this because I know there's a lot of animal lovers out there, and I know there's a lot of psychically gifted people watching the show that are in tune with animals. And I've been working in the animal care industry almost all my adult life when I'm not, you know, kicking demon ass. Um, and so a few years after my wife and I moved in here, and we've lived in this home for 20 years, 20 plus years, one morning we were out there doing some gardening, and this tiny little kitten, I mean, you could fit this cat in the palm of your hand. This tiny little all white kitten comes walking up our driveway for out of nowhere. We don't know where it came from, and it just wouldn't leave. So my wife brought this carrier home, took the door off it, stuck the carrier under the front eave, put water and food out there twice a day for this thing. It ended up adopting us, becoming our cat. We had it for over 10 years. Greatest cat, but it stayed outdoors because I had dogs. But one day it got sick, and we ended up having to help it on its way to heaven because it got a really neurologic because it had a tumor in its brain. But before it left, four adult cats that we never even knew. were friends of hers, showed up to kind of say goodbye to her. It was the coolest thing. Well, after she left, those cats never left. So, of course, my wife brings three more carriers home, taking care of these cats. One of the adult cats disappeared, and we were worried the cat got sick and died or got hurt or something. Then that couple, 8 weeks or so later, that cat showed up on our doorstep with 10 kittens. So now I've got like 12 outdoor cats. All the kittens stayed, of course. My wife brings home a half a dozen more carriers, 10 more bulls, feed them out 3 times a day out there, feeding everybody, and they're having the greatest time of their life. Got all these cats now. We had them all trapped, spayed and neutered, and brought back and let loose in our yard again. The neighbors love them because we're like the only neighborhood in the whole Vegas Valley that has no rats and mice. And a lot of people don't know that this town is infested with them. Not my neighborhood, but true story. 2 nights ago, we go outside to feed the cats, and sitting on our front doorstep, one guess. What do you think's on our front doorstep?
Another one?
The teeniest tiny little all white kitten you've ever seen, just sitting there staring at us. Tell me that's not tell me that's not our cat reincarnated. They look identical except for this all white cat with eyes like mine has a solid black tail. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? But
So it
this
does
kitten,
have black tail.
a solid black tail, but the rest of its body is all white with blue eyes, looks just like the cat we had except for the black tail. You can fit this kitten in the palm of her hand. All the cats are around it, not bothering it, like, hey, join the club. So, of course, my wife, eating all the other cats' food and stuff. And it's funny, it chases all the adult cats around. They run from it. But that's just how life works, man. Life works and God works in mysterious ways. Life works in mysterious ways. And if you are a spiritually sound person and you constantly work on filling yourself with love and light and doing good for others, the animals too, it will come back to you. So what do you guys think about that story? I know that's totally off topic, but what do you think about that?
It's really easy to love animals. Uh,
Yeah.
People not so much, but you know. No, the reason I asked you about the cat being white was because I was told one time, and I've only had one, and it was true, but I was told one time that all cats that are pure white, no other color on them, are deaf.
Interesting.
Now, I don't know if
Interesting.
it's true.
And my other
Um,
cat could have been, I don't know. She was solid white, eyes like mine. Looked like she might have had a little Siamese in her. Solid white though. She could have been. She didn't seem to have issues, but she could have been, I don't know. But this one here, and who knows if this one is or not, but I've got all these, well, I've got the litter is now, a year old. So basically, all the cats out there are adult cats. But this little kitten, there's no pregnant females out there, no other kittens. This little all white, except for the black tail kittens on our doorstep 2 nights ago. And it's hanging out in the carrier that my other cat used to hang out in. I just find that's not a coincidence. So okay, Sly, Cougar, that was a phenomenal topic. Sly, do you have anything other than her topic that is gnawing at your craw?
that was actually the same topic that I had chosen. Um, the drama and the the way that people tend to attack other people to where it affects their health in such a way, and that's why our two teammates quit because they wanted to avoid specific episodes. And sure enough, and sure enough, the day that I was at Adrian's house, I get a text saying somebody had a stroke, and that
Wow.
was the exact reason why he quit the field because he did not want his blood pressure to get so out of control because of what's been going on and that it would cause him to have another stroke. And he said, if I had another stroke, I probably won't survive it. Well, he had another stroke, and luckily it was a very, very minor one. He was home in, I think, 2 days. And he was
Yeah,
just at my 2 days
on
ago. You can't even tell he had one.
on that note, Sly, I know you had a very similar injury to your face that a friend of ours named Jeremy had. How is your recovery going?
It's going very well. Um, a lot better than I expected, even at this point. And I still got at least 4 more surgeries ahead of me. The next surgery that we're looking at is going to be the big one. Um, I hadn't released this information publicly, but Adrian knows what it is. And basically, the next surgery that I'm going to have is not going to be at least until August, maybe September. Um, what's going to happen is they're going to go in and basically rebuild my face.
You know what I was going to say. I was going to wait until you said something, and my idea for you was similar to that. I was thinking, I know you, and we're all family here. Knowing you are on witness protection program, that's a perfect operation for you. You can be anybody you want to be. Who are you going to come out looking like? Not hopefully not Zach Baggins.
No, no.
You gonna go with the same look? Maybe Johnny Depp?
We,
I don't know. Or are we
let's
gonna
put it this
gonna
way.
stick with just repair what's there and look the same? You're gonna come out with a different face.
Now, not definitely not Zach. He's probably the biggest ghost blocker there is. um, no, I just basically want my face back. Um, you know, when it first started, I fought this name for the longest time, and Adrian can vouch for this. I fought the name Paranormal Adonis. I did not want that name. No way, no how, no.
It's funny you say that because I know a guy that looks a lot like you, and his face appears on women's spandex pants. It's the craziest thing. You've never done anything like that, have you? Have your face on pants?
Not by choice.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Well, well, brother, listen, I
Stop it,
love
Adrian.
you. I'm so glad you're doing better. And promise me, the Rev, I already know we were talking about this before the show started. He wants to have you on his show when you get back from that operation so that you can let the world know how you're doing and let everybody
Oh
see
yeah.
you. And maybe we'll either have just you on or we'll do another return of Mod Squad when you get back. But you're on the prayer list, Rev's and mine, and I wish you the best with that. I think you look great. I love the eye patch. I think it's cool.
I have gotten more comments about this eye patch than any other thing. I was talking to somebody, to a lady from the UK. We were talking business about the network, and she said, "When you get everything all done and taken care of, and everything is set back right, please save that eye patch."
Yep.
I'm like, "Why?" Because the women are loving it. I'm like,
Dude,
"Eye patch?"
I met an exorcist the other day who's got legally blind in one eye, and he's also got this weird type of cataracts things going on in just the one eye, so it looks odd. And he's got a pair of glasses, just normal glasses that he wears prescription, but he had just one side totally blacked out.
Uh,
So the glasses look like he's wearing a patch, but it's a trippy look. And I told him, man, what forgive me for saying so, Father, but for what you do, that's a good look. And anyway, I wish you the best, brother. We'll either do this or we'll have just you back on when you get back from the hospital. We got about 15 minutes left. Let me see what I wrote down here for topics. Oh my gosh, I got three. I've got ghost busting, pseudoscience versus spiritual experience. I've got the scientific method versus just your personal style of ghost hunting, having fun, or equipment, bad or good. I'm going to throw three little things out real quick, and then you guys just go ahead and go after it however you want to. On the ghost hunting thing, the pseudoscience versus spiritual experience, in my humble opinion, paranormal investigating has always been, still is, and will always be a spiritual experience. There's experiencers and believers, there's skeptics, and there's non believers. It's a spiritual. It's always going to, no one's ever going to be able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's life after death and ghosts are real and demons and angels are real. Some of us, like present company and myself, we know it's all real. Can we prove it? No. Can people that don't believe prove that it's not real? No. It is what it is. But I have fun investigating the unknown and I know it's real. And I love having plenty of personal experiences to share around the campfire. And I'm happy with that. I'm not trying to worry about proving it or not, or if my evidence is great. I've had parapsychologists with me on cases where ghosts appear right in front of them and then gone. And they're already rubbernecking and looking at me and trying to debunk what they just experienced. So it is what it is. Scientific method. I just use that just to debunk when I first start a case, but then I throw it out the window and I ghost hunt the way I ghost hunt. I don't provoke, but I like to ghost hunt the way I ghost hunt. Most importantly, I like to have fun. I like to make sure everybody around me is having fun, but I don't provoke. But there's no right way or wrong way. And there's guys out there right now that are,
I know what he's talking
beating
about.
their gavel on on the table. I'm the judge, and my way's the right way. And if you're not doing it my way, it's wrong. And I'm going to prove that it exists. Sorry, he's going to be working a long time to prove it. Equipment. I'm going to let a little secret out here. I've had discussions with probably a dozen or more, maybe eight, maybe even a dozen guys that build equipment. Little secret. I'm going to get hate mail for this. Thank God it's not my show. The Rev will have to read the mail later. None of the equipment works. I have had guys tell me that it's just to make money. Having said that, I like to have a good camera. I use dowsing rods. I use a little, I use these cheesy little throwaway cameras. I use these old, fit in the palm of your hand voiceover recorders with the little cassette deck. I use dowsing rods. I can pinch a turd out of a buffalo nickel as tight as I am. So you can do it on a budget and have fun. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on equipment that doesn't prove anything. But if you have some equipment that you love to use because it's fun, I that's my motto, have fun. So yes, I do have some things here other than that stuff I showed you that I like to use. I have a couple of nice cameras and with illuminators and I've been, I have a Mel meter and stuff. But if it's something that is fun to use when you're out on investigations, by all means, get them. But know that basically they don't work. That's what I'm told. I don't have a lot of these gadgets. So there you go. I threw at you guys pseudoscience versus spiritual experience. I threw out at you scientific method versus your own personal technique of ghost hunting, and I threw out equipment. Have at it. We got about 10 minutes or less.
There is actually a lady, and I'm not going to say her name. Most, I'm sure, know who she is. She's all over Facebook, but she is actually working on the scientific end of that. And I've seen lots more TV shows about the science of when someone passes and actually being able to tell that the spirit comes out, the energy.
Well, that's cool.
So they're trying.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Sly, what do you think?
So,
On any of it? Personal technique, equipment, or
well, I'm going to throw something out at you as far as the equipment goes. Um, One, you are absolutely right that you do not have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment. However, I do have one piece of equipment that I love to use, indoors only. It only cost me $4.
uh
It's a dog whistle. Yeah.
that,
Um,
that is, I have never heard anybody, dude. I've never heard anybody say that to me before. I almost mentioned that I carry around, in addition to the dowsing rods, if they're really going nuts, and I'm got the 3D chicken skin going on, and my hairs look like I stuck my finger in a light socket, I will pull out a compass to see what it's doing. But talk to me about that dog whistle. What's that for? That's cool.
I have a compass too. Well, the dog whistle, the original idea was to try to use it as a way to communicate via EVP, because when they leave us things on audios, is we don't hear it as they're saying it. We only hear it there. But it turns out that the dog whistle has two extreme effects on them. One, it'll make them very aggressive, and I've had numerous people say, as soon as I start blowing that dog whistle, I get grabbed really aggressively, or one person actually got scratched to the point it really bled, or they flee the area.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you
Very
got
interesting.
a place that's
Every
really jumping and is very threatening, blow the dog whistle. It'll get rid of them.
Not in the
interesting.
cemetery.
Not outdoors either. No.
That is so interesting, brother. Because to me, I happen to know that everything's energy and everything's the things that I deal with that are really bad are just really low vibrational, perverted, ugly things. And sometimes I can just put my hands into the corner that I know that they're at, and just I can clap,
Right.
which they don't like. I'm going to let out another little secret here to some people. I get um, either cornstarch or baby powder blessed, and I will put some in my hand and blow it into a corner, and it actually settles on the entity. And for a moment, it's almost like watching an Invisible Man movie where, they put something on so you can still see that they're there. For a moment, you can see the dust settling on this figure before all HE double hockey sticks breaks out. So I
That,
love that. I'm
that
gonna
would
I'm
be
gonna I'm
awesome.
gonna get a nice dog whistle, and I've got him at work. I'm a vet. When I'm not kicking demon ass, I'm a veterinary technician. So there's dog whistles at our work. I'm gonna get one, have it blessed, and I'm gonna keep it handy for the next time And that's very very cool.
Let me tell you this: never ever use it outside. I've had one team do that, and they told me about it the next day, and they said it didn't do anything with the ghost, but it sure attracted the coyotes. And I was like, "You're not supposed to use it outside." Um, but due to all the experimentations that I and other teams have done, and what they reported back to me, has led me to a new theory on the use of the dog whistle, which I'll like to talk to you privately on,
Very
because
cool.
I think that with what you do could be very beneficial to that.
Very very cool. Very very cool. I loved today's show. We got to do this again. An hour isn't long enough, but it's hard for uh, I I could be wrong here, but it's hard for an audience to sit for an hour. But we're gonna do more of these. Maybe in 2 months. Maybe when you get back from your Operation Sly. Um, so yeah. So that's my theory here. I say ghost hunt away. Get some training so you know what you're doing, but make your technique your own. Just don't provoke. Respect the ghost. Respect the location. Respect your teammates. Have fun. Um, to me, it's always going to be a spiritual endeavor. Scientific method, if you want to use it just to go into a case for debunking purposes and then let your personal technique kick in, go for it. Equipment, hey, anything you want to buy that you think looks cool that you can have fun with, um, I say go for it. But just know that you're probably using something that was just manufactured for that reason to have fun
Mhm.
with. And they're just too expensive right now. They always have been. But if there's anything else you guys want to just throw out before I say bid you both a fond farewell, now would be the time.
I'm going to leave all the haters with this because this show's going to get to them, and that's okay. Y'all think it's fun now? Wait till the next chapter. You can talk all you want. Don't care. You're not bothering me any. You're leaving someone else alone. Have fun with it. Sit back, hold your beer, watch this.
I'm gonna say one last thing is, as far as the equipment goes, like what you said, it was probably manufactured to give you results. That's why I always try to look outside the field and go to places like Home Depot, Menards, and see what they got. Because 9 times out of 10, they will not have been manufactured by somebody in the field. Therefore, will not give you false positives.
On that note, I will throw out that of all the things that I use and all the things that I've purchased over many, many years, finally it came down to me just having a very good, you know, a nice high def full spectrum camera that actually I use more during the day and get evidence than I do at night. But if I do go at night, I have a hot shoe that I put it on with a couple of full spectrum illuminators. Um, my millimeter, but my millimeter I just put out to just debunk if there's any environmental stuff going on that's causing these people to hallucinate
Hmm.
and go on. But my personal body acts better than a millimeter many times when I'm being approached and being sensitive. I can tell if I'm in the presence of spirit or not. So, but like I said, um, before the producers leave me alone here on the screen, I want to Sly, I love you, I respect you. Ghost Cougar, I love you, I respect you. You look very pretty today. Um, Thank you so much for spending an hour out of your busy Friday afternoons to hang out with me. Um, I'm sure the Rev was watching in another room on his laptop. But yeah, let's leave everybody with this, man. Come on, life is too short. We're all in this together. Love and light. Like I said, a rising tide lifts all the boats. We're all in this together. It's a very close knit, small community, the paranormal community, and you just just be a good person. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And on with what the Ghost Cougar said, it's hard, especially depending on how you've been attacked. It's hard to turn the other cheek, but
Oh yeah.
if you can do it and walk, you feel so much better for it. Life's too short. I love you both. Anything you want to say to the masses before the producer cuts you guys out of here?
I
Thanks
do.
for watching.
In 2 hours, my show, The 13th Dimension, comes on, and your producer is actually our guest tonight.
Oh, very,
And we're
very
going to be
cool.
talking about the community pay it forward and different uh, charity ideas that he's had. We've had many, many talks about this, and I'm really looking forward. This is actually going to be our first non paranormal or beyond type of episode. This time we're going to be focusing on charities. And that's another big thing for me is I love charities. And I think this is going to be a really, really fun episode to talk with.
God bless you, brother. God bless you. God
Thank
bless
you
you
for having me
both.
on the show.
You'll be back. God bless you both. I'll see you soon. I know the Rev would like me to say that he loves all of you. He knows that he doesn't have a show without all of you. So thank you for the Rev for tuning in. Sly rocked. Ghost Cougar rocked. They'll be back. And maybe next time, um, Maverick, not James Garner's son, will be able to join us also. I happen to know the Rev will be back next week with an all new show. I even know who this is. Angela Bowley, very gifted psychic portrait artist, gifted paranormal investigator, cool lady. Um, I don't watch this show, but I'm going to tune in for that show next week with the Rev and Angela Bowley. That's going to be cool. So that's next Friday, the 27th. I happen to also know that Rev hopes you all tune in next week because he's got a big announcement to make about this show. I don't even know what it is, or I'd spill the beans. I can't keep a secret. So make sure you tune in for that show. I know the Rev would want me to thank. Oh, he's got a note here for me somewhere. There it is. The Rev would like me to thank Things Network. He would like me to thank Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. He would like me to thank Skeleton Key Network. He would really like me to thank PACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel. All of these networks simulcast the Revs show there, and he's very grateful for that. So, thank you to all of them. And on that note, um, hang in there. The Rev's a cool guy. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Revs, but he's a cool guy. Him and his wife are going to buy me lunch after the show today, so that's going to make being here today with you all worthwhile. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. The Rev and I love you all. You're all blessed. You're all on the prayer list. Peace. Good night, everybody.